Welcome to the Full Court Entertainment Podcast. I am your host, Sheldon Moore, and I'm going to be soloing today. First topic, we're going to talk about Karl Anthony Towns' injury. I'm praying for Cat. I hope the torn meniscus in his left knee isn't severe because he has been playing really good, was an all-star this year. So I hope he can get back on the court as soon as possible. But the injury itself I think is gonna hurt Minnesota. I truly believe it's gonna hurt them. Cat was their second best player and also their second best scorer. When you look at the Timberwolves roster, it's Anthony Edwards, it's Cat, Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, Jaden McDaniels, though Nas Reed. Like I almost forgot about Nas. Those are your best players. And Cat and Anthony Edwards, they're the only ones that are averaging 20 plus points per game. Everybody else isn't giving you that much production. I'm looking at their stats right now. Anthony Edwards is giving you 26 per game, leading the team. Cat is giving you 22 points per game. Rudy Gobert is giving you 13. Nas Reed, who is really their sixth man coming off the bench, is giving you 13. Mike Conley, I think a lot of people and me, I thought Mike Conley would play a little bit better, like giving you more of a scoring punch in the starting lineup, but he hasn't really. He's been more of like really a traditional type point guard. He's facilitating, kind of really just spot up shooting. So now with Cat out, he's gonna have to do a little bit more. I would say he will have to give me 15 points per game. And I truly believe he can do that. Mike Conley was an all-star before. He was the best player on the Memphis Grizzlies. And now you're going to ask him to probably be maybe your third scorer, fourth scorer, really. Jaden McDaniels. Jaden McDaniels has been really good as a defensive player. Been one of the best defensive players in the league. And I think he's kind of regressed a little bit because his scoring hasn't been that good. I know he missed some time in the middle and early in the year, but I believe Jaden McDaniels can really give you some offense. I think he could be one of the best two-way players in the league. Yes, you are playing with Cat and Anthony Edwards, but at the end of the day, I believe you get your shooting right. You could be able to drive to the hole a little bit more. He's only giving you 10 points per game. I think he can give you at least maybe 16. Well, I think he's gonna have to do that now, and I think he's capable of doing that. I really do. So he's gonna have to step it up. Players on the bench like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who has been pretty good this year. Kyle Anderson, he's gonna have to step it up. Monty Morris, Shake Milton. Well, Shake Milton is gone. Take that back. Monty Morris, he's going to have to step it up. So it's going to be a next man up mentality. And now we're going to really see Anthony Edwards probably at his best. Like, he's going to have to up it up. He's going to have to up his scoring load. I can see him averaging 30 now. He's going to be the guy now. I mean, he was already the guy with Cat, but now he is the main guy. But now with Cat being gone, we don't know how long his injury is. I don't think he's gonna play through it. But we only got like a month and a week left into the season. Then it's the playoffs. So now Cat not being there, it hurts them, and then they could potentially fall in the standings. Right now, they're tied first with the Timberwolves at 43-19. That's pretty good. I think I didn't expect the Timberwolves to be this high. I thought they would be better than what they was last year. This year is what we thought they was going to do last year with the Twin Towers. This is what we thought. And they have been really good. I think their defense is going to be good still because they're ranked number one in defense. They only give up 109 points per game. The problem is going to be their offense. How bad is their offense going to take a hit with Cat being gone? I think it's going to take a tremendous hit. It's gonna go down. They was only averaging 113 points per game. That was only 19th in the league. So you was almost bottom 10 in offense. So that really isn't good. But now, like I said, Anthony Edwards, I'm gonna have to see him take the next step, and then we can see the Timberwolves potentially drop because they really kind of been at the top of the Western Conference all year. They have been, it's been them and OKC flip flopping at 1-2, 1-2. They was at third for a little while, but it's really been 1-2, 1-2. So now they can really go down. I can see the Denver Nuggets passing them. I think some people think the Nuggets are still the team to beat in the West. The Clippers have had their number somewhat this year. They was just in a low scoring battle with them, and that was with Cat playing. So now Clippers could potentially pass them. Maybe New Orleans could potentially pass them. So they can drop to potentially not facing one of the playing teams, but having to face, say, the Clippers, Pelicans, or the Suns in the first round with no Cat. That's going to be a dog. That's going to be a tough fight, a tough spot for them. And if they had Cat, I didn't think they would go to the finals. I didn't have that. My floor for them was second round, even with Cat. My floor was them second round, and my ceiling, they could get to the conference finals because of their defense. Their defense has been amazing this year. Number one defense. You got the defensive player year in Rudy Gobert. Anthony Edwards plays good defense. When he really wants to and wants to clap somebody up on defense, he can do it. Jaden McDaniels, same way. Mike Conley, still a decent defender at his old age. They've been good, but like I said, it's that offense. That offense is going to be the problem. And can like Naz Reid, like I said earlier, Naz Reid, he's low key really a 6 man of the year candidate. He's been really good off the bench. And now, are you gonna is the coach gonna put him in the starting lineup, or is he gonna keep him on the bench? Me personally, I will probably still keep him on the bench because you really don't have nobody on the bench that's gonna give you instant offense. So I would still keep Naz Reid on the bench. I would probably start either Nickeil Alexander-Walker or Kyle Anderson, or it just depends on the matchups. You could just put them in you could just flip-flop them. But it's gonna be hard for the Timberwolves. I still think they can, depending on who they play in the first round, if they can stay at the third in the top three somehow, they still got a little lead somewhat. I think they are. Well, they're really only one game, and that's Denver, and 2.5 games above the Clippers. So I think really they're going no lower than 4. I think that's where they're probably going to be. But if they can stay somewhere in the top 3 and face one of those playing teams, I think they'll be okay. But now the expectation is Timberwolves, you're probably going to lose in the first round, but no one's going to say, this was a failure of a season. Anthony Edwards can't do it. He wasn't be able to take on whoever they face in the playoffs by himself. Bro, their second best player isn't there. Cat is hurt now. And this is the second year in a row with this Twin Tower lineup that Cat's hurt. The only difference is this just happened today. He tore his meniscus. He didn't tore his meniscus today, but we got the diagnostics today. Last time he tore it, I think he had a torn. No, I don't know if he had a torn meniscus, but he hurt his knee last year, and that was in November. So he missed a whole bunch of time, and I think he came back around this time. I think he came back around this time. So, but he was able to come back, and then we were still able to see a little glimpse of the lineup. And now we saw it this year, really good, but he's hurt. I'm praying that he can come back. He can come back healthy, but I'm not gonna lie, man. It's been a lot of injuries this year to star players. So I hope if he's able to come back, I would say come back to how long are you going to be out, and then if they say nah, bro, you shouldn't come back, just don't come back, man. It's not worth risking your health for this 1 year. I say just sit it out. Yeah, we'll take our losses. It's not good. It sucks. But the Timberwolves, they've done really good this year, and they're only going up from here. They're only going up from here, and all I can do is congratulate them. But it's still a month left in the season, so we don't know what's going to happen. But I'm just praying Karl Anthony Towns. Hope we get some good news probably later today or tomorrow on his meniscus injury. The Magic, they're rolling. I'm not gonna lie. In the beginning of the year, I didn't even have the Magic. I didn't have them in the top, and definitely not in the top 2, 3. I didn't have them. I think I had them outside the play-in. I think it was Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Brooklyn. The Magic have one of the best defenses in the league. They have one of the best young players in the league in Paolo Banchero. I watched Paolo at Duke. I'm not gonna act like I watched him in high school, but I definitely watched him at Duke. And I saw Paolo and I was like, he's gonna be good. Paolo is gonna be good when he goes to the league. You could just tell he was gonna be good. You could tell. And he hasn't had a sophomore slump. He's averaging 22, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. You can't beat that, man. He has been on a roll, and the Magic have been on a roll. In their last 16 games, they're 13-3. They are 13-3 in their last 16 games. So the Magic, they have been good. I think they are a threat in the East. I think whoever they face in the playoffs, they're going to give some team a problem. Right now, they're fourth. They're fourth in the East. If the season would end today, they will obviously face the Knicks, and I will probably favor them against the Knicks only because the Knicks are injury riddled. They have the injury bug. But when it comes to the Magic, I have to give credit to Franz Wagner. He has been really good. He's been their second best player all year. He missed some time with the ankle injury, but he's been their consistent player. I got to give credit to Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs was a top pick 3 years ago. He was a top pick. He's been riddled with injuries so far in his early career. But this year, he's been healthy. He's been a really good defender. He's been their third best scorer. And I got to give him credit because I think he's making a big difference. Cole Anthony has been 6 Man of the Year candidate too, just like Naz Reid. He has played good coming off the bench. I know probably wants to be a starter somewhere else, but coming off the bench, being a microwave type guard, can get it going, can give you 20 when he's on that night. He can do it, and he's been really good for that. Wendell has been good too. I know he was on the Bulls. He was okay, but since he's been with the Magic, he's been good. Yes, he's had injuries too, but when he plays, he gives you defense. He's gonna rebound. He's gonna score a little bit. So I'm giving him his credit. The Magic, nobody wants to see them. I'm telling you that right now. Nobody wants to see the Orlando Magic in the playoffs. And the thing with the Magic is they really don't have a lot of veterans. This is a young team. They're not on the OKC level, but when it comes to just young teams, they're on that same realm. They don't really have veteran type players on that team. Like they don't have, say, a PJ Tucker, etc. like that. They're veteran player. I think the oldest player on the team, I think it might be they do have Joe Ingles. I almost forgot about Joe Ingles. Sorry about that. Joe Ingles is their veteran. Gary Harris, he's somewhat a veteran. He's been in the league for a minute, but they don't really have like a whole bunch of players like that can just talk to them. These are just young players, and they're just taking the next step, and they're giving teams some problem, and with their size. And also, I forgot about him, Jonathan Isaac. He's missed some time. He's missed the last 2 years. He tore his ACL in the bubble. He has come back, and I think he has made a big difference. He's a tall wing. I think he's like 6. I'm gonna say 6'9", 6'10". Tall wing, athletic, can jump out the gym. With his length, when they roll out a lineup with like Paolo, Franz, Wendell, and Jonathan Isaac, I don't know what team gonna stop. They gonna get some teams problems. That's why they always give the Celtics some problems because of the length and the size. But John Isaac, he has been really good on defense, and I'm giving him his credit. I'm just gonna give the Magic all their credit, bro. Jamal Mosley, you deserve your flowers, my guy. You have turned this team around. You turned them around, man. And all I can do is say, hey, I was wrong. I thought the Magic would be kind of fighting because you saw it last year at the kind of at the end of the year, maybe after the trade deadline, the last like month and a half, you could see like the Magic. Oh, they're making strides to being better. You can see them probably taking the next step. I didn't really see them taking the next step. I thought they could fight for, say, a playing spot. I thought they could fight for a playing spot. I thought Paulo would be. I like I said, I knew Paulo was gonna be good. I just didn't know he was gonna basically take his game to another level. He's averaging way more assists. I see him sometimes being a de facto point guard. They really don't have a point guard like a traditional point guard, and I think that's what some people wanted them to go get, say, like a DeJounte Murray, a Malcolm Brogdon. Like they needed somebody to set them up. But they haven't had one all year, and they've been good all year. They was really good in the year. They shocked some people. Then they kind of fell down to earth a little bit. Now they're back to being good. Like I said, 13-3. But Paulo and Franz, they are leading this team, and I'm gonna say nobody wants to see them in the playoffs. The West playing. Who's the biggest threat? Who's the biggest threat in the play-in that can give one of these teams that's in top in the West some go? So I put them in order of who from the best to the least, and I'm gonna just say who I'm gonna give my exclamation. First team, the Kings. The Kings are 35-26. They are the 8th seed. I think the Kings give teams the most threat because you have Sabonis. Sabonis has been on the tear, man. I can't even lie and say he hasn't been really good for them. He's their point guard, man. They put the offense through him. Mike Brown, he runs this fast-paced lineup from when he was the assistant with the Golden State Warriors. And Sabonis has been on another level. Shockingly, he wasn't an all-star. With those numbers he's putting up 19, 13, and 8. 8 assists from a big. This is 8 assists from a big. He has been on the tear. De'Aaron Fox, I just watched De'Aaron Fox drop 44 on my Lakers. I just saw De'Aaron, bro, cooking us. We couldn't stop him. We had a 19-point lead, and then we lost it, and then De'Aaron Fox took it over. Nothing you can do about that. There's nothing we can do. But they just have a dynamic offense. Their defense still isn't really that good, even from last year, but it's the offense. You got Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray has been pretty good this year. He's taken a step from his rookie year, so I'm not gonna say he's in a sophomore slump. Kevin Huerter has been up and down this year, but he's been okay. Malik Monk has been pretty good the past like couple of weeks. I'm not gonna lie, he's been really good. Wish the Lakers wish we would have kept him, but hey, it is what it is. Harrison Barnes, he's been okay. He's been decent, but it's that offense, man. And if they stay in the playing spot and they got to go up against the Thunder, and as of right now, the Timberwolves, they can give them some problems. The Kings have actually fared well against the Timberwolves, but they really haven't fared well against the Thunder. And we'll get to Thunder later, but they haven't fared well against those teams. But it's just that offense, man. The Kings average 118 points per game. So they're gonna give you that offense every single night, play at this fast pace, do dribble handoffs with De'Aaron Fox and Kevin Huerter with Sabonis. That's their focal point. If you could take the dribble handoff away, maybe you could be able to stop them, but you can't stop Sabonis at this point right now, man. He's on the tear. De'Aaron Fox is on the tear. He's averaging 27 points per game. De'Aaron Fox. He's been on the tear. So that would be my first team. Like that, I think that would give any of the top 2 teams in the West some go. So I'm gonna go with the Kings number 1. Number 2, I'm gonna just be biased. I'm gonna say the Lakers. I'm gonna just say the Lakers. I think the Lakers. I know people I see on the internet and on TV. Oh, the Lakers are on the thread. Nobody's worried about the Lakers. Well, look, as long as you got LeBron James and Anthony Davis, they're a threat. I don't care what anybody says. They are a threat. LeBron James, he just broke 40,000 points last Saturday. He's still giving me 25, 7, and 7. This guy's almost 40 years old. Anthony Davis, let's shut these injury-prone things about AD. AD has been healthy all year. He's been healthy. He hasn't missed games. If I go look right now, AD has played in 60 games. He's played in 60 games this year. And that's a lot. That is a lot for him. So let's shut them injury things, insults away. Let's shut that down, bro. D'Lo, I'm gonna apologize to D'Lo, man. D'Lo has been really good for us. I cannot even lie. He has been the difference maker. You can argue. D'Lo has been the second best player for us. Behind Anthony Davis. He's probably been better than LeBron in this little stretch. So, D'Lo, I'm sorry if I was saying you was a scapegoat. You're inconsistent. I'm sorry for saying that, man, because you have kept us afloat in the play-in. You have kept us afloat. Austin Reeves has been good for us. Back in the starting lineup. He's been in the starting lineup for a minute, but, he was on the bench for a minute, then he got put back in the starting lineup. He's been good. Rui Hachimura, really back in the starting lineup. He has been really good for us. I'm not even going to lie. That's the one thing I'll say about Darvin Ham. He said, man, look, this is the best lineup that's going to help us win. I'm going to put Rui back in the starting lineup. He did that, and it has shown results. We have been winning. Yes, we did lose last night. Yes, we lost to the Nuggets, and then we beat OKC on Monday. But this lineup, I don't care. I'm being biased. They give the second best threat out of the play-in teams to beat one of these top teams, especially now with Cat being hurt. AD, nobody can stop AD. Nobody can stop him. Who's stopping Bron? No one's stopping LeBron James. The Lakers give us the best. I trust the Lakers. We probably go back to the Western Conference Finals now. Because we can beat the Thunder. We can definitely beat the Thunder. And we can beat the Timberwolves now with no Cat. I'm rolling with Bron and AD and D'Lo and Austin Reeves. I'm rolling with them. We can beat those teams. I don't care. Third team. I'm going to say the Mavericks. I was the first one to say when they made those moves at the trade deadline, I said this is what they needed. They've been a small team. Now you got Daniel Gafford, you got PJ Washington. PJ Washington is starting. I didn't know if Jason Kidd was gonna have Daniel Gafford starting and put Derek Lively on the bench, but he just kept Derek Lively in the starting lineup, and that's perfectly fine. Doesn't really matter to me. That's fine with me. But the Maverick, Luka, before I go what I was about to say, Luka is a top 3 player in the league. You can arguably say he's top 1. Luka, every time I look up, he's getting a 30-point triple-double. Every time I look up. But the problem is they're losing. They are losing games. I just saw them lose to the Pacers. I would say you're better than the Pacers. You lost to the 76ers. No Joel Embiid. That's a top 4 player in the league, and you lost. The Celtics, I expect that. It's the Celtics. You're gonna get a lot of teams lose to the Celtics. So then you lost to the Cavs on some amazing buzzer beater. I can't fault them for that. But Luka has been amazing. Kyrie has been good. The problem is their defense. I thought with Daniel Gafford, he provides rebounding and somewhat rim protection. That's not the case. PJ Washington, I didn't never really thought PJ Washington was like this amazing defender. I thought he could play defense, but I really just thought of him as a stretch four. And he could give you 20 points occasionally. But it's just that defense. And Luka has not been he's not a good defender, period. I already thought Kyrie wasn't a good defender. So it's not shocking, but when you give up this is what they given up in the first actually, this is what they've given up in their last 6 games. 113, 133, 121, 136, 138, 120, and 137. You're not going to win if you're going to do that, especially when Luka is the only one giving you somewhat production. Kyrie's going to give you production. I get that. He's going to give you some production because it's Kyrie Irving. He's one of the best scorers in our league. He's one of the best scorers. But if Luka is going to do all this, you're not winning. You're not going to be the Timberwolves or the Thunder. I don't think they was going to beat the Timberwolves anyway because of the size. Even with Cat hurt, they're still just bigger than them, period. The Thunder, I just favor the Thunder, honestly. I just favor the Thunder. The Mavs, they got issues, and they need to figure this out fast. Playoffs starting in 5 weeks. So y'all gotta hurry this up. Y'all gotta hurry this up because if y'all go into the playoffs with this bad of a defense, you're just gonna lose. If I had to guess, like would say the Timberwolves, I would say I would give Timberwolves in probably 6. Thunder, I would probably give it 6-2, especially with Mavs not having home court. So I would definitely favor those 2 teams. And that's why I have them at number 3. But Luka has just been amazing, man. He's leading the league in score with 34 points per game. Nothing like, come on, man. Luka every time. That's why it's called Luka Magic. Every time I look up, man, he does something, bro. He can't be stopped, but he needs to stop somebody on the defensive end. He got to do something, man. And I know he can do something better. I know he can play some type of defense. I know he can do it. I believe in him, but I don't believe in the Mavericks as a whole, and that's why I got them at number 3. Number 4, last team in the West playoffs, I got the Golden State Warriors. Yes, the Golden State Warriors have gone on a run. Before the Celtics 50-piece, people are saying, hey, the Warriors, are they officially back? They've been playing good. Steph Curry has been amazing. Draymond Green has been impact since he's been back from suspension. He has been an amazing impact. Jonathan Kuminga, man, I've been saying Jonathan Kuminga get the minutes. I've been saying that. I've been saying Jonathan Kuminga get them minutes. Steve Kerr got him the minutes. AirPods, he's been playing good. Moses Mooney, he's been good. You just got Andrew Wiggins back. I hope everything's good with him. He had a family matter, so I hope everything's going well with him. But the one thing about the Warriors that's going to hurt them, 2 things. It's only 2 things. Supporting cast and size. Steph Curry, yes, Jonathan Kuminga has been playing good, but he still needs other players to come with him on the offensive end. Andrew Wiggins, been in and out of the lineup, been inconsistent all year. I hope everything's going well, and I hope he can focus. I hope whatever he's going through, I hope he can probably get back on the court and focus on basketball because they need him. He was one of the reasons why they won that championship at 21 because he was playing amazing defense. Well, no, 2022, sorry. He won in 2022. because he was playing amazing defense. He was the second best player in that series. And if he could do the same thing, I think the Warriors, they could have some chance. Jonathan Kuminga, he's young, but he had this raw talent. He's been playing good. And I think he's going to keep giving them consistent minutes and playing good. AirPods has been the same. Chris Paul, you did get Chris Paul back. And I think that's going to help them. Chris Paul coming off the bench, being that sixth man on the Warriors. Klay Thompson on the bench. You got those two players. So now let's see if we keep rolling. Klay Thompson's still been inconsistent a little bit, but maybe when we get to end of the year, he might can step it up. But Steph Curry's the only one that's giving you consistent buckets, man. He's averaging close to 26 points per game, something like that. And I think, but that's the only guy that's doing something for you. You know, a lot of people thought in the beginning of the year, Klay Thompson, because Klay Thompson had a good year last year. He had a decent year last year. But no one else on this team is giving you 20 points per game. No one else team is giving you 20 points per game. It's only just Steph Curry. And they're small. Draymond Green is the center. Draymond Green is the center. I get it. Draymond Green is what? What's Draymond Green? Probably 6'7". 6'6", 6'7". I know he plays big. He's the heart of the team. But when you're going up against like the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, I ain't gonna lie, man, they're gonna have some problems. And I just don't think they can beat none of those teams. They're small. They roll out a lineup with Steph Curry, Pizisky, Wiggins, Kuminga, and Draymond Green. That is a very small lineup. Wiggins is 6'7", and Kuminga is 6'7". So Draymond Green is your tallest person on the team. Well, it's not even. I take that back. Draymond Green is 6'6". He's the biggest, but he ain't the tallest. So they're gonna have a problem. Steph Curry's gonna have to be amazing going into the playoffs. He's gonna have to be amazing. But first of all, they gotta get through the play-in first. Steph Curry's gonna have to be like godly in the playoffs. In the play-in playoffs, he's got to be godly. But I just don't think nobody else is going to come consistently on the offensive end to help Steph Curry potentially win a first-round series. That's why I have them low. So, to repeat what I said, I got Kings at 1. I got the Lakers at 2. That's because I'm biased. Mavericks at 3. That's just because of Luka. That's literally just because of Luka. And the Warriors at 4. Those are the 4 teams that can give any of those top teams some go. Any of those top 2 teams in the Western Conference some go. When will Wemby be the best player in the NBA? I am on record, and I'm going to stand on business. Victor Wembanyama is already a top 25, 20 player in the league. Bro, it's hard to say, like, I'm going to take, like, when you get to top 10, you say, okay, yeah, I'm not taking no. Top 15 is, I'm still not, but maybe top 20 is like, I don't know if he's better than him. Top 25, yeah, I'm not doing that. Top 25, as of right now in his first year, I'm going with top 25. Victor Wembanyama is a player we never seen before. He is a player that we never seen him. Bro, he's a 7'4" big man that dribbles like a guard. And he's athletic. If he can stay healthy, he's been really healthy this year. And now he's kind of off the minutes restriction. Bro, he's averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds, a steal, 3 assists, and he's averaging 3 blocks. I said it in some. I was like, I could see him averaging 3 blocks. I could see him averaging 3 blocks per game. He's too tall. He too tall. So I could see him averaging 3 blocks per game. 7'4". Like, come on, bro. You gotta at least give me 3. Now, when we get to year 2, I'm projecting I can see Victor Wembanyama averaging, I'm going to say 25 points, 12 rebounds. I'm going to say 5 assists, and I'm going to still stay with the 3 blocks. I'm going to still say he averages 3 blocks per game. If you go look in his last 20 games, he's averaging 40% from the 3-point line. That was the one thing. He's a guard. He shoots like a guard. He's shooting off the dribble, step back. It's like, bro, what? Like, come on, bro. This dude is amazing. He is amazing. His last 10 games, he's averaging 22 points, 11 rebounds, 5. He's averaging 5 blocks. 5 blocks per game. Tell me a dude that does that consistently. Tell me. This man is amazing. He will probably be the best player in the world. I'm going to say by year 4, maybe year 3. I'm going to say year 3, year 4. I can see him being probably the best in the world. And then we're going to say Victor Wembanyama, Luka Doncic, Joel Embiid, and Nikola Jokic. Those going to be like top 5 players in the league. But when he's been good, his team, obviously they're not good. They got the worst record in the West. They're probably going to get a top pick this year. The Spurs have just been bad. The last 3-4 years, they've been bad. But they have to make some moves. Kendrick Perkins said they're on the clock. And I get what he's saying. Because when you have a talent like this, you got to win. You got to basically win now. And we got to get players to surround you. Usually when it's like you get a top pick, it's supposed to be, say, a rebuild. So you're supposed to rebuild in, say, 2-3 years, and then by year 3, that's when you're supposed to be good. No, this kid is generational good. So we can't be out here rebuilding. We can't be waiting 2 to 3 years. We got to get some players. I like Devin Vassell. He's been their second best player all year. Keldon Johnson has been good, but he's been on the bench. I don't know why Pop put him on the bench. Don't ask me. I don't know. But he put him on the bench. I think they need a point guard, first of all. I like Trey Jones. Trey Jones is decent, but they need to upgrade at that position. Maybe get somebody in the draft, or maybe go get Trae Young. I heard them rumors. Trae Young to the Spurs. Oh, my God. Trae Young throwing lobs to Wemby. Jesus Christ. It would be amazing. They need to sign veterans and just sign better players. Outside of Keldon, Vassell, and probably Jeremy Sohan, that's it. They really don't have nobody else. Jeremy Sohan has been pretty good. Devin Vassell has been good. Keldon Johnson has been decent, but Victor has been amazing. And once this man gets to 35, 36 minutes per game, oh, man, the league is over with. The league is over with. I can see the Spurs next year. I can see them. I think they'll still be bad. I hope not last place bad. They're 13-49. Yeah, that's terrible. But maybe they could probably get in the Houston type range. Maybe they could get 27 wins next year. And then you'll be like, okay, they're making some progress. And I guess if you want to say this rebuild, they're making some progress. Then they just got to go out and get somebody. And then everything will be good. I'm going to say go get Trae Young. You put that pairing with Trae Young and Wemby, it's over with. It's up to the Spurs, though, to do that. I think they should do it. I think they will do it. And also, I think by year 3, they'll make the playoffs. I'm going to say that. Year 3 of Victor Wembanyama, they'll make the playoffs. And then years go by, Victor Wembanyama will be the best defensive player in the league. He probably going to win an MVP in probably the next 4 years. I can see him definitely winning an MVP. But his team has to be good first. His team can't be at the bottom, and then you're not going to be in the MVP conversation. We see that. your team has to be good and you have to be good to win MVP. You can't be good and your team is not good to win MVP. It just doesn't work like that. So Victor Wembanyama, when would he be the best player in the league? I'm going in year 3 of him. He'll be 3 or 4 the best player in the league. Are OKC true contenders? I think when it comes to the Thunder have been good. They have beat expectations. I don't think a lot of people thought they would be 43-19. I know I didn't. I thought they would probably be playing because that's what they was last year. I thought they would be maybe higher in the play-in, but I thought they would be in the play-in range. They have exceeded expectations. Shai Gilgeous is a bona fide MVP candidate. He's averaging 31, 5, 6, and 2 steals. And he's a guard, and he has a block. Chet, you can argue Chet or J-Dub second best player. J-Dub, man, J-Dub might be a rising star in this league, man. He has been good. He was at Santa Clara. I was like, damn. I was like, this dude pretty decent. He is good. J-Dub is good. He's averaging 19, 4, 4 and a steal. Chet, you know them little conversations with him and Wemby. Chet was up there, man. And I saw Chet at Gonzaga. Man, I watched him. I saw him hit a 3. He did like a step back 3. I said, yep, he raw. I said he raw just off that little step back 3. And then I started watching him. I was like, yeah. I said, buddy gonna be good. I said, yeah, Chet gonna be good in the league. Like, he's this tall dude that can shoot. He's averaging 17, 8, and 2 blocks. That's pretty good. Josh Giddey has been inconsistent. I know he had the little situation early in the year, but he's been kind of inconsistent. Teams are leaving him wide open at the 3. His shooting has been bad this year. And a couple of years ago, Giddey was good. My friend told me about him. He's like, hey, watch out for Josh Giddey. Gonna be good. He was, and then this year he kind of fell off. He's only averaging 11, 6, and 4. But it's kind of hard when you got other players that got the ball in their hands with Shai, Chet, and J-Dub. So it's kind of hard to say for him to get his own. And that's understandable. The Thunder, they've been really good defensively. They've been top 13 in the league. Their offense, when I looked it up, I was like, wow, they have a great offense. They're number 2 in the league in scoring points per game, at 121. I said, wow, they got good offense. This goes the same with the Warriors, though. My problem is their size. When they go up against them tall teams, let's just say they face the Timberwolves or something. Timberwolves, Lakers, Pelicans, Denver, Clippers. All them guys got some type of big man that's at least 7 feet. Chet is like 7'1" or 7'2", but he don't weigh that much. So when he has to go up against them and somebody has to back him down, it's barbecue chicken, man. That's barbecue chicken. And I think that's only going to be their only Achilles heel is their size. Outside of that, I think they can give some teams some go. I'm not going to say they're championship contender. I think this is just like the fill out year in the playoffs. It's like, let's see what they do. I think Shai is going to take the next step in the playoffs. I can see him averaging probably like 33, 35 points per game from his 31. Basically in the playoffs, you have to take your game to the next level. So I think he could do it. J-Dub, I think all of them could do it. But when they go up against a tall team, they're gonna have problems. You saw it with the Lakers. They killed them. On the boards. I'm looking at it now. They out-rebounded. It was 55-38 on the rebounds. Chet had 7, but AD had 12. LeBron had 11. What can you do with that? That's gonna be their only problem is their size. Besides that, I think the Thunder gonna be good. My floor for the Thunder, I'm gonna say they are really. I think they can go second round, and their ceiling is the conference finals. Do I believe they could get to the conference finals? Not really. I think they can only get to the second round. But the Thunder have been good. They've been amazing. Mark Daigneault, he's my coach of the year. He's my coach of the year. So that's what I have the Thunder. As I say, our Thunder true contenders. It's hard. I'm gonna say no. I don't think they're true contenders in the West. I think whoever they play, I think they beat them because of their size. And then Shea's gonna have to go nuclear. Okay. Are the Celtics the team to beat? Celtics, they're the best team in the league by far. They're 48-13. Yes, they lost. They lost to the Cavs the other day. They gave up a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter. Dean Wade goes crazy in the fourth. He goes crazy. I'm not taking away from that one game because they was just on an 11-game winning streak. They was literally just on an 11-game winning streak. And sometimes you're going to lose games like that. Yes, there are games you're supposed to win, but then you lose. It happens. That's just not in basketball. That's in every sport. It happens. But the Celtics, they have probably the most talented lineup in the league, probably the most talented starting five in the league. You have Jason Tatum, and I know people gonna say Jason Tatum isn't this guy. He isn't who I thought he was. Look, I'm gonna be the first one to say I love Jason Tatum. He's not better than Luka. He's not this top 5 player in the NBA. He's not top 5, but he's damn near in the top 7, top 8. He's definitely in there. He's in the top 10 player in the league. I don't care what anybody says. If you don't think so, I think you're just trolling. If we're being honest, I truly think you're just trolling. Yes, his points has gone down, but that's because he got all these new players on his team that are giving him extra scoring punch. Jaylen Brown, yes, his points per game has gone down too. But you add Porzingis. When the Porzingis got traded to the Celtics, I said, this is what they needed. This is exactly what they needed. Because Robert Williams, yes, he was giving you good defense, but his offense wasn't really that good. Al Horford is still pretty consistent at what he does. He's basically just really a spot-up shooter. He's going to give you rebounds, and that's perfectly fine. But Al Horford, you don't want Al Horford out here playing 30-something minutes per game. Like, you want to save him when the playoffs come. Because he's so effective in the playoffs. I've seen him shut down Joel Embiid. Surprisingly. I've seen that. But you want to save Al Horford for the playoffs. Porzingis, he's going to spread the floor because of his shooting. He's one of the best rim protectors in the league. He's going to give you 20 points per game. He's probably one of the most athletic bigs in the game. And he's basically a combination of Al Horford and Robert Williams. He's the best of both worlds. He is the best of both worlds. And I was like, man, I'm glad they got him. Derek White is probably the best. It's probably the best defensive guard in the game, man. This dude, he be locking some people up. I ain't gonna lie. He be locking some people up. Man, I be seeing this man get some blocks. I be like, man, he's a guard at doing this, man. This dude is really good, bro. He's really good. He's gonna shoot the three. He's gonna facilitate to an extent, even though everybody facilitates by committee, he's gonna facilitate. But Derek White has been such a man. He's been so good. People thought he was gonna be an all-star this year. I saw Reggie Miller say he got to be an all-star. I was like, I don't know about that. But Derek White has been really good. He's been good. Drew Holiday, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think they were gonna get Drew Holiday. I didn't think the Celtics would trade for him. But Drew Holiday has been so good on the defensive end. And I see some people say, oh, his offense has declined, because it was last year he wasn't giving them the offense. And I was like, in my head, I said, yes, his offense declined. That's fine last year. But this year, you're not asking Drew Holiday to go out there and give you 18 points per game. He doesn't have to. Look who he has on his team. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis, Derek White. So he doesn't have to go out and get 18. Yes, he's going to probably get 18 here and there. But he don't have to. He only averages 12 points per game. He only averages 12 points. And that's perfectly fine for him. I don't need him to go out here and get buckets. I got two other people. I got two all-stars. Damn near 3 all-stars to go get me buckets. They got 3 people averaging 20 points per game. They got the best defense and a top 5 offense. They score 121 points per game. That's third in the league. And they give up the 4th points per game on the defensive end at 109. So you got top 5 offense and a top 5 defense. That is crazy good. They have been so dominant all year. Celtics have been so dominant all year. The one thing that I saw, I heard it, but I had to look for it myself. They attempt the most 3-pointers per game. They do shoot a lot. They do shoot a lot of threes per game. They shoot 42 threes per game. And is that going to hurt them when they go in the playoffs? I'm going to say this now. I think they cruise in the East. Whoever they face, I think they cruise. I'm not saying they go sweep everybody. I ain't saying all that. But they do beat. If they gotta face Miami again, they beating them. If they gotta face Milwaukee again, like they did a couple years ago, they beating them. They beating everybody because they're that good. The Celtics are that good. But is them being 3-point happy gonna hurt them in the playoffs? Because there have been games when they don't hit their threes. They kind of don't. It's like what are we gonna do next? I think that's what's gonna be their problem. But besides that, they have everything. You got the scoring, you got the defense, you got the rim protection, you got the shooting. They do it all. They do it all. And the thing with Jason Tatum, he is an MVP candidate because his team is so good. But we can't hinder like his MVP status just because his team is just so good. That's not his fault. That's not his fault. His team is stacked. It's not like he was a free agent and he went to go join this team. No. Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge before Brad Stevens, they just drafted these players and signed these players. That's not his fault. He shouldn't be hindered on his MVP status just because his team is just so good. No. Yeah, I think I'm going to say he should be top 5 because, like I said, you got Shea, Jokic, Luka, and you can say Giannis. Those players are probably just better than him. Maybe not the Shea one, but the other 3, I think they're better. And that's perfectly fine. But I don't want people to just hinder his MVP status just because of that. But besides all that, the Celtics are amazing. I have them winning this year because they're that good. They're just that good, man. And I don't think nobody's stopping them. The only team I think that can really stop them is the team they're going to probably face in the finals, which is the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets, I think they was first, but then they kind of like they stayed in the top 3 range, but they never got to 1-2. As long as you got Jokic, man, they got a chance. Jokic he's been amazing. And you can't stop the dribble handoff with him and Jamal Murray. You can't stop the alley-oops and the slashing from him and Aaron Gordon, man. They connection together is like this. I think that is really the only team I don't see. If they got to face, say, the Suns, I think they could beat the Suns. If they got to face the Clippers, I think they could beat the Clippers. If they got to face, say, Thunder and Timberwolves, I think they could beat them. I think they can really beat them. So really, the only team that I think they gonna have a problem with this entire playoffs is the Nuggets, and I see them beating the Nuggets. I think it's gonna be a hard fought series. Obviously, I don't know what's gonna happen in the next month, the next couple of months. But if they place, if I had to put my money, I'm gonna put it on the Nuggets. I'm putting it on the Celtics because I just believe I like Jason Tatum. I just like that. I just like that team and that whole entire team. They got everything you need, man. So that is it for the Full Court Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Sheldon Moore, and I will see you guys next week.